The January 8th, 2026 City of Friendswood Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting is now called to order. We'll take communications from the public. In order to comply with provisions of the Open Meetings Act, the Commission may not deliberate on subjects discussed under this agenda item. However, the Commission may direct such subjects to be placed on a later regular Commission agenda for discussion and or possible action. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak at this time? No? Next is our consent agenda. These items are considered routine or ministerial in nature and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of items unless a commissioner so requests, in which case the item would be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item A, consider approving the minutes of the regular meeting held Thursday, December 11th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move.
Second. Bounds, Rose. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, next, action items. Item A, public hearing, request to vacate 20-foot sanitary sewer easement. Conduct a public hearing to receive comments regarding a request to vacate a 20-foot sanitary sewer easement traversing lots addresses 3727, 3723, 3715, 3711 East FM 528 Road and 18001 Blackhawk Boulevard. Property is also located within the Friendswood City Center subdivision final plat. Said easement being an approximate 0.706 acre tract of dedicated by separate instrument as evidenced by HCCF RP 2020-59908 in Friendswood, Harris County, Texas. Aubrey, staff summary?
Yes, sir. So this is a 20-foot sanitary sewer easement that was dedicated by Clear Creek Community Church previously when they developed the church and extended the sewer line across the 528. And now that City Center is developing those sites, the sanitary sewer easement runs right where they need to put the landscaping. And that's the trees along 528. So they are relocating that sewer line to the middle of their parking lot. So they'll dedicate a new easement, but since this one is a public easement, we needed to go through the formal process.
Okay. Would the applicant like to speak? No? Okay. Anybody from the public would like to comment on this? No? Okay, item B, recommendation, request to vacate 20-foot sanitary sewer easement. So this is a recommendation on the item above. It's open discussion. Let's go, Commissioner Anderson.
Looks pretty straightforward to me. No comments.
Commissioner Phillips,
Yeah, I don't have any additional comments.
Commissioner Bounds,
No, sir, nothing.
Commissioner Rice. Good. Okay, same here. Do we have a motion to approve? Okay, Phillips.
I'll second.
Okay, Bounds. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Item C, site plan amendment, 2907 West Parkwood Avenue. Consider approval of site plan amendment for Hardball Academy located at 2907 West Parkwood Avenue to consider alternative tree types, alternative screening plan, and alternative dumpster screening material. This item was postponed at the previous meeting. We will consider each request individually. Request number 1, consider alternative tree types. Allow the planting of 4 3-inch caliper live oak trees to mitigate for cedar elm trees that were removed during construction. Aubrey, staff summary?
Yes, so just at the time of final inspection, it was noted that some of the trees that were supposed to remain throughout the project were removed. So this is just a request to upgrade some of the buffer trees for this to meet the requirement.
Okay. Would the applicant like to speak?
pretty straightforward. Some of the trees have to be.
If you would like to speak, just come up to the podium, please, and introduce yourself.
Tommy Kuban, I'm the construction manager for the project. So some of the trees had to be removed for the sanitary line, water line. So this is just to replace or mitigate the trees that were.
Okay. If you want, you can stay up for any questions, or you're free to sit.
Stay for questions.
We'll go to commissioner discussions. We'll start with our landscape architect, Commissioner Phillips.
I mean, I don't have any questions. I mean, the live oaks, I mean, what, you just decided to do the live oaks, just, I mean,
Yeah, there's a mix of live oaks throughout
Already
the
out there,
property
yeah.
there. So just, it seemed like it made sense spacing wise to pick them live oaks.
Commissioner Bounds?
And I drove out there and my votes seem to be consistent with everything else, so I'm good with it.
Commissioner Anderson?
Pretty much did all the comments, it looks pretty consistent.
Commissioner Rice?
Yeah, I'm good.
No issue here. Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay, Commissioner Bounds?
I second.
Commissioner Anderson? We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Okay. Request number 2, motion passes, sorry. Request number 2, consider alternate dumpster screening material. Allow a 6-foot wooden dumpster enclosure in lieu of masonry material. Aubrey, staff summary?
So in the community overlay district typically requires the screening materials to be the same as the building. So that was the reason why it was shown that way originally. The only, I guess, concern I would have with the wood is just long-term maintenance. Code enforcement will make them replace it if it gets deteriorated or anything, so.
Okay. Anything you have?
Nothing, I guess if Rich you wanna speak to it, he's fine with maintaining it and meeting the requirements for that, so.
Okay. Next we'll go to discussion. Start Commissioner Bounds this time.
My only thought was deterioration, but as long as they replace it, it's fine.
Commissioner Phillips?
I would agree with that and having the concern of making sure that the maintenance stays, on top of that.
Okay. Commissioner Anderson?
I think I missed it. Why did you select the wood versus the masonry? Why was that done?
Mainly for value engineering reasons. And it's the same exact fence as the screening that's right next to it, so it kind of looks the same, so.
Commissioner Rice?
I drove out there and honestly, I was looking at the trees and the fence so much I forgot about the dumpster until I came upon it.
Well, that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah,
It didn't
so-
stick out.
And I walked back there, I drove back there, and once I came upon it, I remember, oh yeah, the dumpster's in that list too. But it's so far off the road, you can't even see it. And like you said, it blends in with the other fence. I don't have any heartburn over it.
Okay. I'll say generally, I don't really like the idea. I'd rather it be even a synthetic type material that's gonna be more resistant. That said, it's not gonna be that noticeable, and if you keep up the maintenance, that's reasonable. All right. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay. Commissioner Bounds?
I'll second.
Commissioner Rice? We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Request number 3, consider alternate screening plans. Aubrey, staff summary?
So the applicant provided 3 proposals, and I guess I can just let him explain them.
Yeah, so proposal A essentially is, I think a few of you have been out there now, that east side of the property is completely tree lined, you can't even see through it, so we're looking at a ton of 8-foot fence, if we were to have to put a fence in, so he's going to have to eventually put a outfield fence in as well, so what we're proposing is we let that be basically a landscape screen. That's proposal A. Proposal B would be to let his future outfield fence serve as a screen for the east side. Now, keep in mind, the south side, he's fenced that. It's completely 8-foot fence all the way down. And then proposal C is if A and B obviously are rejected, putting the fence in similarly to the south side where it's just off the property line. We'd have to kind of zigzag around one tree.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
That's it for now. I mean, I'll have responses if you have questions, so.
Okay. And before we get to the discussion, on this one, do we need a proposal of which proposal we wanna approve when they make the motion?
Yeah, you can have your discussion and then when you make your recommendation, pick one of the options or one of the options with any conditions y'all should pick.
Everybody good with that?
And just, I can flip back and forth between these if you tell me which ones you wanna look at.
All right, we'll start with Commissioner Rives this time.
Okay, proposal C. You said you could do that, but you'd have to move or divert around one tree?
So the way, I'm not sure how this happened, but the actual tree on, or the fence on the landscape plan has it going through the trees, which is not realistic, obviously. So we'd have to move it in a few feet, off the property line. Doing that and keeping it out of the berm, there's one tree in the way, and we don't wanna take it down.
Right.
So we would just, it would go on the east side of it.
I'm torn between B and C. C's a little more economical and gets that fence along the property line. But then in the future, if somebody was to develop next door or just even build a house next door, you know, if they put up a fence along their property, then you've got, about how many feet do you think that is?
That would probably be less than 5 feet. if
Yeah,
they
so
put-
that's my only concern of that becoming like a trough of weeds or weeded trees or whatever.
Which is why we were, if you're between B and C, that's why we suggested B out of those two, because he is gonna have an outfield fence about 15 to 20 feet from that.
Mhm.
So obviously, you know, it'd be a lot better than having two
Yeah.
fences, cause he's gonna eventually put an outfield fence no matter what.
Right, so I was for B at first, but when you said you're only gonna miss one tree, I was just trying to determine from a value engineering standpoint, I hate to see you guys double up on some of that fence line. But I don't really have a problem with either one, B or C. I hate that it came to that, and I know why it did because of the drainage and all that,
Creating a tight little narrow window back there.
yeah, so as long as there's a fence there, I'm okay. I guess all I have to say.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yeah, I like the fact that there will be a fence and like Marcus, I'm not advocating one or the other, I'm okay.
Commissioner Phillips?
I think I would probably lean more towards the B option. I don't really have a strong opinion either way, but I mean, A would be no for me on A, but I'd probably lean towards more the B option.
Commissioner Bounds?
I'm with Marcus on that. If they build a house on their property behind them or to the east, I would think something would need to go there. And then as many canals and stuff is around there, you hit a ball out there, the kid goes out there and grabs a cottonmouth or a copperhead or something like that. I think a fence needs to be up there. So again, I'm good. I was leaning more towards B, but B or C is fine with me.
Okay.
Whatever's more cost effective, I think would be appropriate.
For me, proposal A is a definite no. No go. On proposal B, and it probably says it here and I just missed it, but what kind of fence is the red line? What
8
what
foot.
material?
What'd you say was gonna be on the, what kind of fence was that?
Just wood.
That's south.
Wood
It would be a wood fence? Okay. With that, I would be fine with either B or C myself. I really don't like the idea of using the trees behind there as a reason not to do it, being that eventually that land would be developed, would be my reasoning.
And then, this other drawing, their landscape plan, we went through and kind of highlight or circled around the trees with the trunks that are actually on this property. So if those adjacent properties are developed, ideally these trees would remain because the trunks are on his property. So there will be, even though it's on the other side of the fence, there will be some trees that would be left if
And some of those are actually clusters as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's heavily wooded.
Yeah.
All right.
And can I
Go ahead.
ask,
Yes.
did you guys get any feedback from the drainage district about your fence locations or anything?
And proposal B is less costly than C.
Correct. And the benefit to that one is essentially it'd avoid a lot of, it would be a really awkward, tight space for him to maintain if he had a fence just inside the property line and then his outfield fence. It'd be kind of redundant there too, so.
All right, looks like we're down to B or C, but does somebody want to make a motion to present this?
I move that, you go ahead.
I'll make a motion for proposal B. Gives plenty of room to maintain on both sides of the fence, and it gives us the fence and the trees.
A motion to approve.
Motion to approve B.
Second.
And I'll second. Oh, no, you
Commissioner Rice, Commissioner Anderson. Okay, we have a motion and a second for approving proposal B. All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, next, communications. Item A, receive an update regarding the comprehensive plan update, a resilient communities project, RCP grant from the General Land Office. Aubrey?
So the advisory committee met in December. It was a good turnout. We had good discussion at that meeting. Following that meeting, I did talk with the consultants. So we're trying to get a bus tour together. The FISD is gonna loan us a school bus to take a big city tour. So we're looking at doing that towards the end of this month. And then we are working on sending out the flyers for the surveys in the Friday folders for the elementary and middle school kids for FISD. And then Wedgewood Elementary is the only school in CCISD that is all Friendswood kids. So that's about 650 students at that school. So we're gonna get the surveys out to more people hopefully. And then the consultant is planning to attend FDEDC's meeting on February 10th. And we're hoping to piggyback a few more meetings that same day. We're going to invite some landowners from the Panhandle area in. So Dan, Nick Deutsch, and some of those guys in to meet with the consultants that day as well. And then hopefully a group of high school students.
Will they be meeting with them at the DEDC meeting or?
No,
separate?
separately, yeah, so they'll be like getting in 3 meetings in one day, yeah, since they're gonna be here. So it makes sense. So hopefully we can make all that happen. And then we'll need to work on scheduling the next, so one of the the biggest theme that is coming out of all the surveys, like of everything that they've done is downtown improvements. So they wanna come meet with FDEDC to say, hey, like downtown keeps coming up, like, what are y'all's thoughts, and kind of maybe brainstorm with FDEDC, maybe they can, have some projects or something that they can incorporate into the plan that FDEDC would be aligned with, so.
Very good. Timing still looks good.
Yep, we're doing good. Yeah, they're so after January, and they'll be done with pretty much done with the gathering of information and surveys and gathering opinions. They'll start formulating more visions and ideas and stuff to incorporate into the plan. The next step.
Very good. Good effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B, announcement of the Planning and Zoning Commissioner regular meetings for Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, Thursday, February 12th, 2026, while we're on that item real quick, do we have an assumed date when we switch back to chambers?
We're 95% sure we're gonna be able to use chambers for the next meeting.
Yay.
Very good.
It may not be 100% complete. I think communications is gonna be on like fold-out tables, not in the booth, but we think we're gonna be in there now.
Very good. Thank you.
If not, we'll use the second floor conference room over at City Hall because we don't have this room reserved. So.
Good to know.
So it will be back in City
At
Hall.
City Hall,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Next, receive the December 2025 DRC report. It's in our back material, but Aubrey, anything?
No.
Okay. Next, we'll get our city council updates from our liaison, Councilmember Matranga.
Good evening, commissioners. So city council, in its wisdom, agreed with planning and zoning, of course, and approved the changes to the building, proposed heights to the buildings at the city center and some of the residency locations within the city center. So we approved that based on your recommendation and our review. And then on the second item that was P&Z related that we discussed, was on the 2351 PUD property. We spent a lot of time going over pros and cons of that plan unit development, and in the end, we postponed that. We asked the developer to come back and take another look at some of the noise issues and some of the staging issues of when they're gonna build residence versus commercial property. So that'll be postponed to the next meeting. But other than that, that was the two topics that I remember that were P&Z related. And I'll be around afterwards if you have any questions.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, we'll continue with communications and comments from our commissioners. Commissioner Phillips.
As always, you guys prepare us really well for these meetings. I appreciate it, and just glad to be here with my fellow commissioners. Thank you. And the public comment.
Commissioner Bounds.
Ditto. Thank you, public, for showing up. Appreciate you coming out.
Commissioner Anderson.
Not much to add, just a lot of appreciation for all the hard work you guys do putting these packages together, and Joe for the update, and just everyone being here to share their thoughts. Thank you.
Commissioner Rose.
Happy New Year and go Hoosiers.
You know, I just want to personally say I missed the last meeting. I really appreciate the support everybody's given me over the last year or so, and the understanding, so I really appreciate that. Appreciate all y'all. Okay, with that, anything else, Karen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Becky? Aubrey?
I will just add on the Clear Creek Village PUD, the applicant did end up moving the building over like 70 feet at y'all's request. And they did add a 20-foot tree line. So they did do what y'all asked them to do in the submittal that went to council. The other item, it's not really P&Z related, but the building code update was approved. So we'll be going to the 2024 international codes and the 2023 national electric code. So we'll start enforcing that like March 1st. We're getting the flyers together. We've been warning everybody for like a year and a half. So it shouldn't be a surprise, but effective March 1st, we will enforce the new codes.
Step back for a second. If you all get a chance, you might look into that. There's some interesting, it doesn't necessarily affect what we do, but there's some interesting facts in that changes. But with that, thank you everyone for attending this evening, the January.
Sorry, before you adjourn, I got one more question. Back to proposal B for the fence, for the outfield fence.
We actually, there's no public comment at this
Oh, I'm
phase of
sorry.
it, but we can talk to you afterwards.
Perfect, that's all I wanted. You know if you need to sneak in the meeting or not.
And thank you everyone for attending this evening. The January 8th, 2026 Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting is now adjourned.